change the rest of my life. The mind is a medieval motherfucker. It's constantly fighting against you. It's the only thing in the history of the fucking world that shows up on time, every time. It has a tactical advantage over you. It knows your fears, it knows your insecurities, it knows everything about you. It might be the only thing in that world that knows all about you. You gotta know about it. It's gonna show up when you don't want to show up. It's gonna show up at the worst time possible when you want to be successful. It's gonna say, take the easy road. Take the easy way out. You gotta learn your brain like the brain has learned you.
The mind is the battleground. It is the place where the greatest conflict is. There are more people in this room having trouble in their mind than there are people having trouble in their finances. The struggle is in your mind. This is why we have people who go to bed tired and wake up tired. Slept 8 hours and you wake up still tired. The reason you wake up tired is that you got to sleep but you didn't get rest.
All right. What'd y'all think of that little moto clip? A little bit of David Goggins, a little bit of TD Jakes. Anyways, my name is David-Cusick. Some of y'all know me, some of y'all don't. On Instagram, I go by Cusick.d as in David, man. Facebook, David-Cusick. This is the beginning of the Yellowbrick Road podcast with your boy, David-Cusick. Now, how did I come about wanting to do a podcast? Well, so many people are doing it. I have a message. And I've walked a path in this life that many haven't. Many have, not quite like mine, but a lot of us in the veteran community have walked a path that many haven't. And because of that, in our experiences, it's made us quite different. It's created challenges in our marriages, in our lives, in our sleep, basically day-to-day living. So, more recently, in the last 7 weeks, I've made some huge changes because of basically this clip that I just played for you. This clip right here, it's like an 81-minute motivational video, but it's got like 90% of it's David Goggins, in your face, look in the mirror and call yourself the fuck out. Sorry about that. It's my little radio for a volunteer fire department. But basically, this 81-minute video didn't quite change my life, but it was the start of getting the gears turning. Like, what am I going to do? What is my why? That, I know we all feel that hamster wheel, like we're inside of a hamster wheel and we just keep running, and it's like this vicious circle. And it's almost like the definition of insanity. It's basically the definition of insanity. You do the same thing day in and day out and you expect a different result. Whether it be, I'm going to go to my job, I'm going to hustle, and I'm going to make all this money, it's going to make everything better. And in turn, you may make a lot of money, but everything just crumbles apart. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, everything around you just seems to crumble. I'm going to shut this light off real quick. yeah, that's way better. So, like I was saying, everything just crumbles apart, and you're just in this hamster wheel. It's life. Life is a giant fucking hamster wheel. So, this video led me to David Goggins' book. Like, I followed David Goggins for a long time. I follow a lot of other military dudes, Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. Their Extreme Ownership book. I'm not ready to say it changed my life, because my life has not changed yet. It's changing, but it has not changed yet. So, the Extreme Ownership book, let's just start saying that these books and these videos are slowly putting things into perspective for me. And as they are put in perspective, I have to emplace change. And in order to emplace change, you have to be basically intentional and deliberate. It's my new motto. I posted about it the other day. But being intentional and deliberate is a matter of setting goals, making a list, a vision board, as you will. I have done none of those things quite yet, because I have this thing where it's like, oh, I'll remember. No. I've done a couple things. I have made a list on the start of my accountability mirror, which came from David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me book. I listened to it like 6 times on audio. Finally, I was like, man, I need to order this book, because every chapter he lists a challenge. And some of these challenges are just badass. You know what I mean? Like the accountability mirror. Like, that's the one I still haven't finished yet, because some may call it ADHD. I don't know. Just my mind is just constantly moving. It's like when you go to sleep at night and your mind just starts racing. That's basically what happens. So when that happens is when I should be writing shit down, but I don't. But in the accountability mirror, I made a list. So with that list, alright, I had to pause because my kids just came back from a football game. Timberland versus Berkeley got rescheduled for today. They had to show me my second oldest daughter. She got a Hunter's education card, so they had to show me that, tell me about a game. So my mind has to come back to what I was discussing, which the last thing I remember discussing is the accountability mirror, which is in David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me book. So I've done that on a list of paper, a yellow notebook. You all know what I'm talking about. But I have not actually put it on my mirror with sticky notes. Started working on a logo, a brand. I've come up with an idea to start my own business. I have a homestead. It's called the David-Cusick. I have cows, horses, well, a horse. I had horses, one died, chickens, pigs, you name it, we got like a little farm. But it's a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work. So my podcast, Yellowbrick Road Podcast, is basically going to be my life in general, challenges in life, homestead life, fitness. I'm all about fitness. Which, let me just go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a Marine veteran. I'm a construction supervisor. I'm a father of 6, 5 girls, 1 boy. My wife, she is the love of my life, my boss, like the only woman, really the only person on earth I'm afraid of. Let's see, I told you a little bit about my homestead, some cows, horse, chickens, but one day I'd like to be my own boss. One day I would like to have a large amount of land, a large, like 50 to 100 acres, leave to my kids, basically a legacy, you know. And with that being said, is the legacy of my kids will not have to work for somebody, to be in the hamster wheel as you were. Basically, I want them to be able to get up in the morning, hop on a horse, and ranch to survive off the land. I want to have a piece of land that it would take a day to ride across with a horse. These are all goals and dreams, but in order to get there, I have to set this up. You understand? But in order to do this, I had to make small changes, very small changes, that will turn into big changes. So how can you expect to jump from this to this? See this? I'm on my phone, which is something else that I plan on reinventing when I do this podcast and get a little bit further into it. So starts with small changes, and then those turn into big changes. So what am I doing? Well, 7 weeks I told you these little changes, these little gears started turning. I quit smoking, quit drinking, smoked for probably better 20 years. I'm 37, figure 17, yeah, fucking 20 years. And guess what? Cigarettes are just getting nastier, nastier, nastier. More carcinogens, more money. I spending almost, they're like $7 to $8 a pack. Now I was smoking about a pack and a half. Oh, you know, I'm figuring almost $20. Let's just say $20 a day, almost $16 a day, just to kill myself, just to give myself cancer. Marines, they're known for drinking like a fish. You know, the Marine Corps was born in a barn, or not a barn. Thinking farm life. There you go. My mind races. A bar. The Marine Corps was born in a bar. So traditionally, we are functioning alcoholics. Not all of us, but you know, I mean, the ones that kind of take it serious, like to drink in excess and function and run miles. Something that some of us pride ourselves on. Well, you figure 20 years ish, you know, of drinking like that. What is that doing to your liver? What is that doing to your body? What is that doing to your mind? These things will take a toll on your body. I'm 37, I'm not getting any younger. I have 3 teenagers. They're all in cross country and they wanted me to run. Can't do that if I'm smoking like I do and drinking like I was. So I stopped all that 7 weeks ago. It sucked. I was a bit dickish for like 2 weeks, you know, but I run my ass off. I work out. I just started working out like within the last week or so, but it's mainly been running. So on that note, a lot of you seen that I posted a 4x4 by 48 challenge. Well, where did you get this idea, David? My boy David Goggins. So you run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. I got to 15. Yes, sir. My 2 a.m. run, because I started at 6 p.m. on Friday. My 2 a.m. run, I was an hour late for. So I did that at 3 a.m. I believe I was feeling a little bit of dehydration, a little bit of sleep deprivation. Might be a little food deprivation in there because that many miles already. See, I was at already going on 12 miles at 3 a.m. So yeah, that was something that I just shot from the hip. Like, hey, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. And come the following morning, I missed my 6 a.m. run, which should have put me at 16, and then my 10 a.m. run should have put me at 20. So I didn't wake up till like 10. after my run. I woke up at 5:30 because my buddy dropped his daughter and my daughter off because my daughter stayed at his daughter's house, and then I passed out till like maybe 9:30ish, 10ish, because I took off at 10, and I might have ran like a mile of that, and it was like, holy shit, my thighs were on fire. My feet felt like they were crushed. My cardiovascular and all that felt great, but it was a toll on my body that I was not expecting. Basically in my lower half. Now I'm starting to get them big girl thighs from all the running I did, but I walked the rest of that run, and I didn't do the whole 4. I did 3, which put me at 15 miles. And I got back, and I was like, the whole run, I was like, man, what could I have done different? What could you have done different, David? Well, there's a lot of things that I learned from that. I need to prepare better. I need to pre-hydrate. Friday morning, I drank like 3 of these bad boys. They're fucking great, but I wouldn't recommend drinking 3 before a 48-hour, 48-mile run. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I need to in place a little bit of a diet plan to feed my body between these runs. You figure I was running 4 miles in like 45 minutes, so I need to be stretching in between these runs. Every little run I needed to stretch, because when I got to the 15-mile part, like, that's what was killing me about my legs. I didn't stretch at all. I laid down and rested. I started late in the evening. And the second part I screwed up was sleeping in a California king bed next to my wife. That comfort zone, like, nope, I probably need to just post up on a cot, you know what I mean, and dare to suck, or just fucking stay up. That was my intentions, but mediocrity. That's another word I got from David Goggins. Mediocrity will kick you in the face and then shove it in the dirt. So, the second thing that screwed me on that was, well, it's not really a second, it's probably like 4th or 5th, but I had to clean my gutters. I had to clean the gutters on my house. I always have shit to do around the house. On the homestead, I always have shit to do. So that was another thing. Like, all right, at mile 15, you're like, your dick is in the dirt pretty much. Like, you still gonna be able to get shit done around the house? How are you gonna feel when you go to work Monday? Shit, I don't know. But when I got back from that 10 o'clock run, I slept till like 3:30, 4 o'clock. May even been later than that. I slept the day away. And then I just was lazy. It took a lot out of me. I've never ran 15 miles probably since the Marine Corps, which was fucking 16, 17 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And for 2 years, let's say maybe a year. Let's just go with a year. Last year, I've done nothing physical as far as running and working out. Like I said, I made this change, quit drinking, quit smoking, and just boom, started running. So I was proud of myself. I ran 15 miles in, 16 hours. But the next time I do it, I'm gonna be ready. And I may fail again, or I may get that DNF, do not finish. But the official big deal 4x4 by 48 is in March, and that's almost like a nationwide thing that Goggins created, to where on that day I would love to do it, and I'm going to finish it, because in the process of doing that, you basically go live and you make a big deal out of it, to where, hey, donate to, I'm gonna do Simplified Fund because I'm a Marine. I think Goggins does like the special operations warrior program, something like, you do like a GoFundMe for your non-profit of choice, and it's done in March. So I would love to do that. I am a big supporter of the veteran community. I love my veteran brothers and sisters. The VA is getting better, but it's still a shit show. just like our government, and anything that I can do to give back to the veteran community. I try. I really do try. Um, that's the whole other process of this change is like not only do I want to have time to have my own business, give back to my community, which is why I joined the local fire department, volunteered. Um, I've also tried to help out veteran buddies of mine uh, any way that I can. Like, so being in the hamster wheel, it kind of limits my ability to do and fulfill what I feel is my purpose, you know? And consistently in any video that you watch, what is your why? What is your why? What is your why? What is your why? Figure out what your why is. You know what I'm saying? That's almost like the hardest part. Is figuring out your why. It's like being almost 40 and figuring out what you want to be when you grow up. You know, it still happens. People still suffer from depression, anxiety, and figuring out their purpose, you know. But how do you figure that out? First off, you need to get inside your head. You need to look inside the mirror at yourself and get real. Like, what am I good at? What do I want to do? What am I capable of doing? And how are you going to place that? You know? Averaging 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night. What am I doing with the rest of my time during the day? Like actual sleep, 4 to 6 hours. How many hours do I lay in my bed? You know, these are things that you have to ask yourself and write down. Like things that I've been working on the last 7 weeks is coming up with a strategy, a plan. But if you sit on it too long, you're gonna basically procrastinate. And I'm not gonna start until I have this, and this. When at the end of the day, you need to make small goals, achieve them, complete them, and then move on to the next one, next small goal. I am my worst critic, and I'm sure a lot of you are too. And you have to be, but you can't be too hard on yourself. You also have to be your biggest fan. So when I beat myself up, like, man, you only did 3 things this weekend. Why would you do the rest of the week? Like, don't make excuses for yourself, but lay it all out. Like, I did these 3 things. These were 3 major things. I also have to make time for my family, make time for my wife. Like, you have to find balance among these things, but still make progress towards your goals. Progress is progress. It's better than sitting on your ass not doing nothing. I quit listening to music, excuse me. And all I listen to now is motivational videos. David Goggins, Eric Thomas, Steve Harvey, Jocko. I think that's it right now. Yeah, those are really my 4 go-to guys. And if you start listening to these things, and it's basically a form of brainwashing, like boot camp. Like they say that's what they do to Marines in boot camp. Yeah, you're fucking right, they do. But we're like some of the most proficient killers and performers. You know what I mean? We are masters of our skills, masters of our trade, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? We go above and beyond in everything we do, but if you still strive to do this, you take the same concept of that to transform your mind to make this change. Brainwashing does sound a little over the edge, but I constantly listen to this shit. Anytime I have a minute to listen to it, that's all I'm listening to. Get in the shower, that's what I'm listening to. On the way to work, that's what I'm listening to. Lunch break, that's what I'm listening to. And these guys have like very good key points that you need to just pick from. Like I said, I have David Goggins' book. I haven't even opened it up yet because I've gotten so busy at this, and this. Like this area right here, like check it out. I've worked my ass off. That's the rest of my garage. To just get this area straightened out. Like I hung up cool shit. Like all this shit was just fucking scattered. You understand? So in order to achieve one of my goals of starting my own podcast, I had to have an area to do a podcast. I had to make it look like tight and right. You know what I'm saying? Like, check out this badass picture. Oh shit, where am I going? My boy John Potter gave me that. John Porter, not Potter. Excuse me. John Porter. Went to his retirement party and gave me that. He retired from the Marine Corps. Gave me that shit. It's like one of my prized possessions. This right here. Buddy gave me the Yellowbrick Road sign. I live on Yellowbrick Road, no shit. That right there, this is handcrafted from the Philippines. Dude's like my uncle. He's Filipino. He's been loyal to my dad since I was like 5 years old. So he's like an uncle. He's babysitting me. That was his dad's. His dad was a Navy Seabee. Got it from the Philippines. Hand carved. It's on my wall. That's sentimental. See that Pepsi can up there? Oh, that's Natty. Right there. That came from Israel. My uncle, he was in the Navy. Retired. Got that from Israel. That can's older than me. See the old EGA back there? Cousin gave me that. That was handcrafted by a veteran. Weedy sign came from my veteran buddy, Marine buddy, brother, Matt Leday. That flag came from Matt. That boonie cover, I don't remember where the fuck I got it, but it's mine. That howdy sign came from Matt. Hey, get busy, Matt. I got a good bit of Matt shit in here. The little 4-leaf clover, I think that came from my mom because I'm Irish. Clock. It's a USMC clock. My wife got it for me. My football was signed by some Panthers, Carolina Panthers players, I don't remember. That ball, I got that when I was like high school, signed by Meadowlark Lemon, the official Meadowlark Lemon Globetrotter pastor. He's dead now. That's signed to him, from him to me, to David-Cusick, from Meadowlark Lemon. It's got a scripture on it and everything. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Zechariah 4:6. Came from the man himself. Got a lot of cool shit, but I had to get it organized. Sometimes, before you can get to step C, you gotta do A and B first. So, this is just a startup. This is my first podcast. I'm going on 28 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep them under 30 minutes. Right now, I'm gonna try to shoot for maybe, I don't know, once a month until I can get a little bit more organized. But I had to give y'all something. I had to get something going. I had to show a little bit of progress. I had to get something started. And really, at the end of the day, progress is progress. You may be your own worst critic. You may beat yourself up. But at the end of the day, you have to take those little wins. The little wins will turn into a big win. Sometimes in order to win the war, you have to win the battles. You may not win every battle, but as long as you are winning battles, you will eventually win the war. But you can't give up. You gotta take every day one step at a time. One foot from the other. One step at a time, one day at a time. And I'm basically gonna just leave you with this. In order to get where you're going, you have to take a step first. Yellowbrick Road Podcast. Peace.